Okay, everybody, we're adding a new page to the math journal today. This should be 2 for today, so this is the second one of the 2 that we're going to be adding. So if we open it up, we're looking at today page 15, adding and subtracting rational numbers. Okay, so when we're talking about adding and subtracting rational numbers, we're talking about rational numbers, which are fractions and decimals. Okay, so here's going to be the main sheet, and if you look, and you'll see this later, but there's an answer key at the bottom, okay, to help you out and to show you kind of a little bit more step by step on how to do the sample problems in just a minute. Okay, so adding and subtracting rational numbers. So page 15 of your math journal. Okay, now here's what we got: adding and subtracting rational numbers. Here are your 5 sample problems, okay, and we'll see what we do with these little blank tabs right here, okay. But let's look at our hints first, okay. So when we're adding or subtracting rational numbers, okay, we can add and subtract positive and negative fractions the same way as we would whole number integers, okay. So you might have to go back and review adding and subtracting your integers, okay. If we're adding and they have the same sign, we just add and carry the sign with it. If we're adding and they have opposite signs, we have to subtract and carry the sign of the larger number, okay. And if we subtract our integers, okay, unless we can figure it out in our head just right off the bat, like an easy, like, I don't know, 1 minus 2, would be a -1. We need to use SCC, all right, and that SCC should be in your math journal, okay. So we're going to treat these the same way when we're adding and subtracting them as we did our integers, okay. Now it says convert rational numbers to the same form to add or subtract. Okay, so if we're dealing with a decimal and a fraction, and you've already seen how to convert those, I want you to convert them whichever is easiest for you. Okay, if it's easier for you to put a fraction into a decimal, well then do it. If it's easier for you to put a decimal into a fraction, you can do that. Okay, whichever is easiest for you. Okay, all right, so let's go. Here's some different steps that we need to do. So number 1, evaluate. Are the numbers in the same form? So just like I said, are they both fractions or are they both decimals? And if they're not, then we need to recognize that. Okay. Are negative subtrahends used? All right, so the negative subtrahend, I'm subtracting a negative. Okay, so there's negative subtrahends. All right, do the fractions have the same denominator? So what's the denominator? Is the denominator the top number or the bottom? It's the bottom. Okay, so do they have the same or the common denominator? Okay, step 2, we need to convert. Change numbers to the same form, which we've talked about up here, okay, and you've done this yesterday. Use the additive inverse and addition for negative subtrahends. Okay, so that's our SCC. Okay, we're staying the same. We're going to change that to addition. So we're adding the additive inverse, which is the opposite of this. So that's a positive 9/8. Okay, so that's what it's talking about there. All right, number 3. Find the answer to the problem and simplify. Okay, and simplify. All right. So, with that said, I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to cut all this out, and I'm going to go ahead and glue it in. Okay, so you can see it.